Okay, so this is another work Simon talk thing. This time we are one person short because Viv has left our company. Ooh. We're very proud of her, but she's no longer with us in a professional capacity.
She's still with us on this earth.
On this plane, on this earthly
ethereal plane.
No, ethereal plane means she died already.
Oh, okay.
Right, but she haven't.
All planes are ethereal planes.
Not all planes are equal.
You see like the Pongo, the field there, that's an ethereal plane.
Why is this becoming?
Okay, sorry.
But anyway, this is like a tea time thing. Like we did a lunchtime thing last time, but people complained about the ASMR eating sound. So this one will have less of the. So what are we drinking, everybody?
We went with Toast Box again.
We went Toast Box, and I
Why,
had to buy because I lost a bet to Rimming.
Oh, why? What's the bet?
So the bet was like, okay, so we were queuing up at wait, what did you eat just now?
I was at Nam Ki Pao.
Yeah, so her number was number 149. So I said
150.
no 149.
150.
Is it?
Is that the
My
bet?
number was 150.
Okay, 149 was called. Then I said 149 is the number of Dragonite.
Yeah.
Which is a Pokemon lah. So we were deciding like 150 and 151. Which one was Mew and which one was Mewtwo?
Oh, which one first?
Yeah, so I bet Mewtwo was first. I bet Mewtwo is 150, Mew is 151. And she bet the other way around.
Oh, but the other way around makes more sense, right? Because Mewtwo.
So I hear you, right? But if you play the
Okay, you hear me.
if you play the original red the
poker rap,
the poker game, the Pokemon games, the original one, right? You first know of the existence of Mewtwo first before Mew.
Oh, okay.
Mew is the one that's very hard to get.
Right, so Mewtwo was registered first.
Exactly. So
but they call it Mewtwo. They already knew that there's a Mew one.
I guess
but it's just not registered.
I guess so, yeah.
Right. Oh, so because of that, you lost the bet. So y'all say then y'all check.
Yeah.
Then 150 is actually Mewtwo.
I was checking my phone and he was like, yeah. I mean,
Right.
he woohoo very loudly when we were walking in the
Nam Ki
mall.
Pao.
No, in the shop. We were walking back already in the shopping
Yeah,
mall.
because originally was the bet was $10. But then now she buys Toast Box
It's
instead.
probably more than 10.
Which is more than $10.
Yeah, so thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
losing
losing
the
the economy.
The conclusion is Pokemon stuff you don't bet with Rimming because he probably knows better.
It was a rigged bet. He already knew the
Yeah,
answer.
yes. I think he rigged it.
Is that
He
ethical?
knew from
He knew
before.
already.
How the hell did I rig it?
Because you already know that 149 is Dragonite.
That is not what rigging is.
So you might have seen already the next
that's not
one.
okay. Number one, just because you know something you can bet on it, so is that rigging?
Yes.
Why?
Because a fair bet is when she don't know, you don't know. I think in a rule of fair competition.
What you mean you think?
I think nothing I can't have my opinion, is it?
Okay,
Illegal,
You can have your opinion.
That's
No.
my opinion.
So, oh my god, this is mind blowing. So you're saying I accuse me of rigging things just because I know
No,
something?
we never accused you of rigging. We're asking if this was a rigged
no,
thing.
I'm pretty sure that was
Did
not
you know
asking.
beforehand?
Yeah, of course I know. That's why I can bet $10 on it.
Fuck.
Okay, I think that's fair. Like, if you knew that he knew, did you know that he knew?
No, because he was like,
Then that might be rigging.
No, what the hell? So I believe in something.
don't believe you
Then I
know.
bet money. Yeah, I believe
But you should tell her that you
No,
I
know.
believe in
He
something
asked-
because I
he asked
know
me.
about it.
he was like, oh, 150 is Mew. Wait, or is it Mewtwo? Is it actually, I'm not sure. Which one is it? He asked me.
Also, he
No,
thinks, so
you-
No, okay, no. I knew. Okay, I knew it in the way that
Insider trading.
I know in the way that I described to you guys. Like I know that in the Pokemon games,
It's either this or that.
no, that Mew is discovered last, and you need some stupid Game Boy Link last time to trade it. So I would know like it doesn't make sense for it to reveal itself.
Then why you ask me to check?
Yeah.
No, I mean I just to check to verify lah.
But I think you played up your ignorance of the situation.
That's not true. You
Create
weren't
a
there.
sit- I mean, I'm thankful because I got free this.
No, either way it will be free because
You weren't there.
if not it will be him right?
Yeah, but if he pay, he might use company money. Then that's
Oh,
half of mine.
that's
so,
true.
So I still appreciate that you
Okay,
rigged,
okay.
you half rigged it.
I don't know how
to win. Or like you feign ignorance.
You let us know what it's like.
Yeah, in the comments,
What-
who is fair.
Is it really
Because
rigging?
she said like, oh, I wonder if it is. Oh, I'm not sure. But you were kind of sure-ish already. You kind of knew already, right?
Wow.
But I think I'm gaslighting you.
This is like fucking gaslighting me. So, wow.
Okay. We let the comments
Okay.
decide.
Okay.
The one people that will comment on
Okay,
this
let's
video
share
will
what,
decide.
Okay.
what we got.
Yeah,
So I got honey lemon cause my Lisa recommended cause my voice is a bit dying. So I got honey lemon
I
hot.
have barley, ice barley that has silken tofu.
Does it really?
like-
I just ordered barley,
I
that's
think.
all.
Oh, then maybe don't have. You must say silken.
I don't
So
know.
this is not
You
silken.
read it.
The toast box, right, doesn't have a drinks menu anywhere. You know,
Don't have.
it doesn't have a drinks menu like written.
Not up there. It's down here.
Down here also don't have.
Oh, maybe.
I think it's in a
Don't have silken
they have
tofu.
like a pamphlet menu maybe. There's
Right.
these pamphlets there, but I didn't go and pick up. But they don't have like a menu with things written,
Right.
so I don't know what it's called.
I see.
And I scared I say, then they're like,
What's
we don't have that.
Yeah, what's
I'll be
silken
very
silk ahead,
embarrassed. So I decided to be safe and not order.
What's yours?
I'm having oatmeal taping.
Oh,
Oat
so
milk.
fancy.
Oat milk. Oat milk.
milk
Taping
taping,
from
not
Toast
oatmeal.
Box.
Oh, mine is teh o kosong peng because I knew that we were gonna have sweet
Bread.
treats. From Bread Talk, Rayming has sunflower bread,
Oh, this sounds like a sponsored food.
Yeah, it does.
which has sunflower seeds all around it. And then this is a Queen Aman. And then we have a shio. I don't really know what shio means, but it's a shio croissant
Salt,
thing.
salt.
Oh, salt. Oh yeah, there's
Shio
salt.
croissant.
And then it has butter and what is this? Red
Red
bean
bean.
inside. It's really good. I had a bite. Y'all can try. I use my fingers,
Oh,
not
what?
my teeth. What? Would you rather I
Finger
use
better. No saliva.
Yeah.
I thought we could talk about the idea that like a lot of young people are starting to work now after COVID is over, and then they got very used to, because I used to teach at NTU, so I know some students and stuff, and now they're graduating. They are not very happy with work in general, it seems. The idea that like it is just not fun or not meaningful most of the time. And my kind of uncle advice to a lot of them actually is like, I thought work is like that one. I mean, you're a young person, you're just starting out. Work is just like that one day, I'm sorry. So what do y'all think? Like, do y'all think like it's very typical to start being miserable and feeling miserable about work when you first just start out? And do y'all feel something like this when y'all first start out?
I think so. I feel like I'm similar, cause I'm one of these people who started work after COVID, right? Or during COVID.
Yeah.
So
Was it a shock to you? Like, oh, I hate this.
no, but the thing is, right? Like during my internships in school, I already thought I hate this.
Right.
But there was an end to it. So that's why I was not looking forward to starting work, because it was like during my internships I was already counting down the days till the end. And but then if you work full time, there's nothing to count down
doesn't
to.
end.
So I'm
Yeah,
like,
please
wow,
don't.
how would I stand that? Right. That's why I was so like quite desperately trying to find
Something else.
a kind of job that I would enjoy, that I wouldn't look forward to counting down the days kind of
Right.
thing, or keep wondering what is my next job kind of thing. So that was what I was. So I did like at the beginning, I mean, hop here and there kind of thing.
To try to find a good fit lah.
Yeah.
When I find it, I'll stay there.
But I do realize that like you said before, like a boring job in a place that has like a decent culture is like already very good, which I agree. Like sometimes you want something like exciting work, but at the end I think the company culture and the like a non-toxic place is like probably
Yeah.
the number one priority actually.
Yeah. I think the kind of situation I set for was more like, would you rather like a very boring and standard working place with good colleagues and good boss, or the inverse where it's very exciting and meaningful work but it's very high pressure and your boss and colleagues may be toxic? And I feel like maybe it's because I'm older, I would prefer to have a more boring workplace. Then at least like the colleagues are nice. I prefer that to the opposite. But when I'm younger, maybe different. You make more impact and things like that. Yeah, what do y'all think?
Depends on how ambitious you are, I think.
True.
Because if you are quite like you want to gain more skills or whatever,
Portfolio, change the
you
world.
might want to like go through the fun job with like
High pressure. right?
high pressure job with like toxic people, but
Yeah.
depend on your priorities. Some people not as ambitious, so maybe the boring job will be fine.
I kind of have a theory, but it's might be superficial. I don't know. I just thought of it. The shift in what you post on social media now is a bit more on the like raw, authentic side, like with TikTok and stuff. Whereas last time with Facebook and then Instagram, which was more curated, I don't think the sentiments have changed. I think young people, there's always a bit of a dip, a disappointment, like when you enter the workforce and you realize that this is what it is. Like Wen Xing said, there's nothing to look forward to. It's just an endless, endless.
Just a monotonous line.
Yeah, it's not like school where you have the term break to look forward to. You have a new semester to look forward to. With work, it's like your change is just if you change jobs. So I feel like that's been quite consistent. It's just that maybe the disappointment now is more
expressed.
Yeah, it's expressed
Right.
more.
So I think that it's like the way that we tell ourselves or tell our stories on social media has made it seem like things have changed, but actually it's the same.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I get it, because like in uni, they kind of like big you up and like hype you up for the world, right?
Oh yeah.
So you're gonna change the world, because you graduate from university degree. You're all gonna start in some position. You're gonna take charge of people, blah blah blah. And the other you enter like what, Big Four, first year some associate, and you are like nobody.
Yeah.
And then of course the difference in expectation is so massive that it can make a lot of people disillusioned.
Yes.
So I think it's very, very normal. I spent like the first few years of my working life like hating it, which is why I also, one of the reasons why I pursued FI in the beginning. So like, of course, the way I saw it, like you can kind of like coast in this like purgatory for 40 years, or you could like kind of like try to like jump up and like scramble for the top and get out of purgatory to escape like the gravity of the corporate world, you know what I mean? The gravity of like your finances actually mattering. So yeah, I think it's very normal for Gen Z to hate working. Actually, I'm quite looking forward to it, because like for the longest time, Gen Z.
Looking forward, you Gen Z and you're looking for the working.
No, looking forward to Gen Z like being more acquainted with like.
Or to find their place.
To find a place in the world.
Right.
Also, maybe selfishly as like content creators who create stuff about like careers and like money stuff, right? I think in the early days, Gen Z is like, I don't know, how can this be real? But then as I think Gen Z like enters the workforce, they get promoted, they become managers, they find out like the difficulties of managing people, managing up, managing below, expectations. They start running their own companies. Then they have a more nuanced picture of how everything comes together.
Right.
Remember like when millennials joined the workforce, we also like very, very angsty in the beginning as well.
I remember I was a big Fight Club fan, if you all remember that, by Chuck Palahniuk. And then it was like the whole thing about you are not your fucking job, you are not your fucking khakis, and it's like all about anti-consumerism and anarchy, and I was super into that. Now I watch the film again, I'm like, what is this shit? Like, like, how can you just burn the thing down because people have invested capital and risk to build this company to provide jobs that can raise families, then you just burn the thing down because you're miserable at work. What? So I can't, actually, you're right. I felt that before also in my old millennial way.
And I see like on TikTok, right, the comments used to be 100% unreadable to me.
Unreadable?
Yeah, like I look at it, I was like, the realities that Gen Zs were facing, it was so, like, it's so different. Like, how for example, like, how can the world work this way? How can you be like, kind of like defending like the small business owner who is so toxic? Nowadays, like I see like a slight change, right?
Yeah.
Like people will be like, oh yeah, but business owner also must think of this. Right. So I feel like Gen Z is starting to also see the big picture, and I mean it's a very exciting time. I love it.
You love this tension that they feel in the workplace.
I love the
growth.
Yeah, I love the growth. It's like they are becoming
character development.
Yeah, they have their own career development.
Right.
Like I think when we started the page, like this is 2019, right? Like I think it was right for millennials to have that character development also. It was time for us to graduate from like the angry, angsty youth to kind of like having more responsibility. And I feel I think maybe this is Gen Z's time to be like that.
True. Yeah. Are you all Gen Z's?
I guess not by then. I don't know.
It depends on some definitions because they include 1996. But I guess we're on the cusp.
Right.
Oh, age reveal.
But I emotionally relate more to millennials.
Or is it?
I don't know. I think I just feel like cause Gen Z gets such a bad rap that you just don't want to be like, oh no, I'm not Gen Z.
Maybe, I don't know. The hip image of a Gen Z is like I'd rather just be an old grandma millennial.
Oh yeah. The way they dress also, I guess like it dates a bit older.
But I guess being the younger generation is uncool has been ongoing for a long
always
time.
Like
also, right?
true.
So I mean, there's nothing wrong with being Gen Z.
Millennials were called strawberries generation and stuff, you know, because we were soft and we wanted for better welfare and things like that.
Now when I meet my friends, millennials managing Gen Z, like what they're like, oh, I tell you, this Gen Z, very strawberry.
Yeah.
Then I was like, hey.
That's what they used to call us, bro.
Exactly.
Remember? No?
So are we getting older, you know, by simply saying that?
We're trying to maintain structures that we have in a way written, but then the new generation will come in and rewrite it.
Yeah, exactly. And there'll probably be like, at some point, like a new version of our page also that more resonates more.
No, let's have already. TikTok probably have something.
Yeah,
I don't even know
maybe,
yet.
maybe someone.
Yeah.
Why do you think, like, what do you think are some reasons that the older we get, the more conservative we become? I've heard that before. And while we used to rail against that when we were younger, now it's like we start to understand, we start to have more perspective, we're a bit more mature in our thinking. And then that could translate as like being more conservative, or like you prefer the ways of doing and the ways of thinking that you
Have grown comfortable with.
Yeah.
I think there's also like one selfish reason that is not like explored further. Like usually the older you become, the wealthier you become. And the wealthier you become, the more likely you want to preserve the systems that make you wealthy in the first place.
Oh, true.
That has worked for you.
Yeah.
Kind of like HDB in Singapore, right? When you're young, you want it to be affordable and cheap. And once you become a head owner, like, I want HDB price. Go to the roof. Then I stopped caring about that. So I think in some way, it makes sense to become more conservative as you grow older.
That's interesting.
I think also like structures are oftentimes a lot of things will change over time, but a lot of things are the same also. It's a bit like how sometimes nature can be very representative of forces that we see, like supply and demand, things like that. So I feel like over time when you learn how the world works also, you become a lot more like, oh, okay, so that's how that works. And you see a lot of similarities in other things in life. Like you might see like, if you're a bicycle fan, you look at how the bicycle industry has been changing. Then you also apply and you see the same things everywhere. Then you'll be like, oh, okay, so I can't understand why things have to be a certain way. So when you understand things and you understand how they work, suddenly you become less aggressive. You seem a bit more conservative because you don't immediately just get emotional. Then immediately say, hey, that's fucked up. I don't like that.
Yeah.
It's more like, that's not right, but I kind of see why that is the way it is. And then if I want to change it, here's how I'm right. So I think in that aspect, it becomes automatically more conservative.
I think like I get that from the old TikTok comments, right?
Yeah.
Like when we simply portray other people's, like let's say the big corporations' point of view or government's point of view, they will say
very visceral reaction.
Yeah, they will say that is conservative.
Yeah.
But it's more like, wait, I understand their point of view.
Yeah.
It's not even like we should do what they do. We just say,
Yeah.
oh, I understand why they think this way. So I say as a young person, what is conservative to you will be simply seeing other perspective. Because sometimes as a young person, all you want is change, right? You're hungry for change because you start off like you are broke 22-year-old, like you're poor, salary low, you try and live like separate from your parents. Of course, it's very natural to hate the world. Then everything like anything that disagree with your worldview, of course you dislike, right?
It lines up very well to say that I'm suffering and I don't like this because the world is fucked up.
Yeah.
The world is fucked up, you know,
it is.
but not necessarily in the way that you think or as bad as you
Or
think.
not to the extent you think it's fucked.
Yeah,
It's
the
fucked up for
extent.
you at this moment.
Yeah.
But actually like it's okay for maybe 60% of the population.
I feel like for young people, these two are also quite conservative actually. Do you all feel that?
Are we young people?
You are young to us because we're old as hell.
Approaching 30.
Yeah, I'm not even 30. You still have a 2 in front, you know.
Yeah.
Conservative in what sense?
Yeah, do you all feel like you're more conservative than your peers, for example?
By virtue
Like-
of working here, yeah.
But you do?
Oh no!
Like, let's say if you, for example, are out with your friends and then
Ah.
they might comment on something about, say, the government or policy or economics. Do you sometimes get this feeling of like, maybe I should say something about...
I feel like my friends okay, I don't have a lot of friends, but the friends that I do hang with,
I'm your friend.
either
yeah,
see,
we're your friends.
no, either we don't talk about this kind of thing,
Right.
or don't know, maybe it's the group that I mix with that they are more.
They're already quite conservative also.
I think so. I've never heard any very radical statements from.
Oh, you don't have any like radical left friends?
No, not that I know of lah. Either I don't hang with them or they don't tell
They
me
don't
or
say
whatever.
it.
But for those that I hang with, not really. I mean, I don't
Just
know.
doesn't get
Maybe
bored,
it's like the environment that for context, this like my friends from say I was from computing, I studied IT, so it's like computing people. You know what I mean? I don't know whether that makes a difference lah. Compared to if you say if I studied say liberal arts with liberal arts students.
For sure.
Perspectives are different, I think. So maybe that's the reason. I don't know. Yeah.
How about you, Lisa? Like your circle of friends and stuff. Do you feel that sometimes?
Man, I think I was definitely more. Well, like, would you say left leaning? Left leaning when I was in uni, and then I guess like with most things, you sort of you just move to the middle. Like you become less extreme on either end.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that is resignation or moderation,
Right.
or
mellowing with age.
and or maturing even, because I realized that a lot of the things that I used to think, I was just sort of parroting other people and parroting my peers, which is fine lah, because I guess I always think that you learn by copying, or you learn by absorbing other people, and then slowly you process things on your own and you come to your own conclusions. So I don't know, conservative, I think so. And maybe for my age group, which is like 28, I'm a bit more conservative than other people, than my other peers in my group of friends.
Right.
But I don't see it as a bad thing.
Oh, I don't think so at all.
I think. Yes, you are.
I think like to the extreme left, right? They see you as like extreme right.
Even if you're not.
Yeah, even if you're in the middle. Then for the extreme right, they kind of see you like extreme left also.
Oh my gosh, I was thinking about it this morning because I'm reading this book that Wei Chun recommended to me called The 12 Rules of Life by Jordan Peterson.
Which is controversial.
Yeah.
But continue.
Because in the intro, so it's not Jordan Peterson's part yet, it's still the introduction by his friend. And he was talking about how, like, sometimes if you don't take your own stand, like out of fear of being judgmental, you kind of don't have your own sense of morality or your own sense of self. So that was definitely what I felt last time. Like I felt like, because like, everything is relative morality, depends on your culture, your upbringing, your citizenship. But then, I don't know, I felt like I'm more sure of myself now because I'm more judgmental, because I know where my lines are.
Right.
So I was comparing to myself last time when I was younger, when things were more anxiety inducing, because it felt like nothing was clear.
Yeah,
Everything.
take very hard stands on things.
Yeah. And maybe that's also part of growing up. Like you have to draw your line in the sand somewhere, and that might come across to people as conservative.
I think like it's cool to celebrate these like levels, because I have friends who are very left. But we can still have good conversations and agree to disagree. And I think that's way more fun to me than just seeking like a general murmur of like consensus. Like when you go in a group of people, then as you all talk and then you realize that there are some differences, that you don't go into it, then everybody comes to this weird middle, but nobody is really standing where they actually feel. Rather we just say it, then we like, I disagree, but it's okay lah. Like, we just talk about it.
I think it's more like you disagree, then they can explain like how come they came to that perspective, and you explain to how you get to that perspective. I always find it like such a enriching experience versus like villainizing the person immediately. But sometimes also by being quite conservative can be mood killers, right?
Quite. Can.
So I mean, some of my friends are also quite left. I mean, you think about it, like they are like the quite hipster people. They ride bicycles to work. I also ride bicycle to work. But I'm you know what I mean, right? So ride bicycle to work, they try to detach themselves from capitalism. Right.
I mean, I went to art school. I also know a lot of people.
Like a bit hipster one, right?
Yeah, bohemian, you know.
Like,
check conventions and things like that.
So one of the things they always say like, oh, why can't there be like more funding for this? And I think we always talk about why there can't be more funding for bike lanes in Singapore, which I also want lah, right? So I noticed like the difference, like for them, like, oh, why can't we have bike lanes? You know, fuck the government, not doing a good job, right? All the bike lanes not connected, it's all half-ass. But then with a more like, I would not say conservative, with like my perspective, I will start to think of like, okay, so this is the cyclist perspective. How about, you know, let's say the driver perspective, right? Or like the government's perspective.
The pedestrian
it would be like, how many cyclists are there in Singapore? Do they justify a bike lane? If I invest, then no one use. Then what will people say?
Yeah.
Then also how
Space is also very little here.
Then how will I have to manage like the good behavior between like cars and cyclists?
Yes.
A lot of cyclists or PMD riders are behaving badly, right? How do we address that also? So I think like if having these multiple perspectives means that I'm conservative and right wing, then fuck it lah, I'm right wing. So be it.
I think it's true. You need to sense the room lah. Like you cannot come in and be the capitalist. Like it's not even capitalist. Like the macro sense person in every situation. Because sometimes people just want to rant lah. So you gotta let them rant sometimes. You gotta read the room a little bit.
So I also don't approach these conversations with like expectations of I'm gonna
change their mind.
I'm gonna
shut everybody up.
I'm gonna shut that up. I just like listen and then like only if I cannot take it. Or like I feel like they're
open to it.
They're open to it. Then I'll share. If not I'll just say, yeah, it's tough. It's it's so difficult. I know.
That's why it's cool to be in the office sometimes. It's like because of our work, we are kind of like always trying to think about things like a general paper or GP essay. So it's very okay for us to always examine the macro perspective. But the danger is when we bring it back and ruin conversations sometimes.
It's an occupational hazard.
Especially I think like with the parents or the in-laws especially. Because I think it's human nature, especially quite Singaporean culture to complain about things. To say, traffic jam very bad, the flood very bad, blah, blah, blah. But to just go, well, but to be fair, it can ruin the damn thing.
Yeah, I think like, I tried once with a Grab uncle. Then I ruined the whole conversation.
Don't want to hear it.
He don't want to hear it.
Grab uncles do not want to hear you.
Because, sometimes people say like, only in Singapore, I leave the house before the sunrise, then I come home before the sunset. I work so long. Then I'm like, wow.
Actually, no.
Actually, no. The whole world like that. But then I also don't want to be the guy to tell them nowadays. Maybe last time I would like have the time or energy to say that. Then now I'm like, whatever, you believe what you want. But I also noticed like online, on the online space, it says like stuff like anti-work and like the more woke, not our woke, the US woke. Like that stuff is dying down in the US.
Is it?
Yeah. I have some theories. My theory is like with the increased interest rate and like like the anti-work kind of like emerged in a time where employment opportunities were like a lot, right?
A lot more,
like
right?
during Great Resignation.
It's more employees market.
Yeah, during that phase.
Right.
Then now like they literally cannot afford to be anti-work. So they had like maybe 1-2 years of like joyous anti-work movement where you can say fuck the system.
Yeah, because you could afford to.
Yeah, but then now it's like, oh okay, the system actually continue on without you, and now they are struggling to keep up.
Yeah. So I feel like in young people's case, like I think it might feel very out of order because if you graduate during the tech boom or the COVID time where it's not just tech boom and interest rates are good and everything, right? Then it's employee market some more. Then some more got COVID, so there's a lot of work from home and stuff. I think a lot of them adjust quite hard now also because it's a very difficult comeback to Earth kind of thing. I remember like during COVID time when like it was so remote that I was doing classes like from my home. I never saw some of my students live, Then like they had an assignment where they had to talk about their internship, and everybody work remotely. And I did a straw poll for fun. I'm like, how many of you expect to work from home next time? Like 80% of the time, and almost all of them expect that as a base minimum. But now come to find out, like even like all your most staunch work from home places like Google are also going all back to office already because you can't deny that there's still something.
There's still some merit lah.
Yeah,
not to say work from home no merit.
Yeah, it's not to say that, but you still need people to come in and stuff. So things have changed a lot in the past few. But I think it will just revert back. They'll just get used to it again, probably.
I think we view in the context of like, let's say what the financial markets were doing at the time.
Yeah.
At the time, I would say like also like a lot of assets were doing well. It was very easy to sell the dream of like you having financial freedom at a young age. You know what I mean?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
The other, you don't need to work as much.
Yeah, like
so I feel like if we look at all these like
ago.
phenomena together, they are all tied to each other.
Yeah. It's just they feel it a lot. Cause everything happened all at once and they all come back down to earth all at once. Maybe. Yeah.
Most companies do offer some sort of hybrid, right? I think nowadays, and I think that's the right thing to do, lah, right?
Yeah, now it's very common to have like 3-day work from office, right?
I think if I were back in the workforce, if 5-day work from office, unless it paid very well, I probably would not do it.
5-day work. So if you are a fresh grad, you won't do it,
No lah,
5-day
no.
work.
As me
You
hurrying
right.
now, yeah. As fresh grad,
No.
Because you got choices.
Yeah,
okay,
you got choice
if fresh
mah.
grad, then like they pay me higher.
Yeah.
Oh no, you have to, okay. I rephrase. Whether me or not, whether I have choices or not, if you need me to be in office like 5 days a week, then you have to pay me higher.
Like two exact
Oh,
same
like
job.
that.
Then one is 5, then say one is 3.
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
5 should
Of
pay
course,
higher
like,
than
yeah,
3. Like, if
exactly.
not, obviously you'll just pick the 3.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
everything else is
Is it?
equal.
Yeah.
So if it's pay equal,
Oh.
the job is the same.
Oh.
Wouldn't you pick the hybrid over the 5?
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
You also like probably you do that. Because you seem to like to come to the office.
I do, but it's a balance. So, like for instance, today, because it was raining in the morning, just to have that flexibility to be like, can I stay
I
home?
start later.
Yeah,
Mm.
and I was doing work at home. It's just that
Yeah.
I could. It's not like a enforced like no, you have to like show your butt in the office
Yes,
at like
yes, yes.
9 a.m. sharp.
Show your butt.
Show your butt, yeah, so weird.
No showing your butt, show your
lah,
face.
lah. That's what we look for.
I think it's yeah.
Right.
Not the butt. Yeah, I think it's the dictator likeness of it that pisses people off.
Dictator-likeness.
Right, you must be
Yeah.
5 days. Then like it also shows like a lack of trust also. Then I think that is what turns a lot of Gen Z and even millennials off lah. Right?
Yeah.
Huh? So if I don't come to work, then if I just means at home means I'm lazing around. No what, right?
What I'm hearing a lot also is like a lot of bad bosses things lah. And I don't know why it is, but it seems to me now more vivid than last time. Maybe it's my position now where young people sometimes talk to me about it. But I guess so many people asking me about what happens when my boss sucks, and it's very common. So like as people who maybe have had bad bosses in the past, like, do you have some advice like if people have shitty bosses, because it can feel very like no control, like what can I do in this situation? It feels like the job market is so bad, especially in my sector, which is like the arts and animation sector. What can I do, right? Any thoughts, yo?
I quit.
Yeah, I mean,
Bad boss is like
I
literally
mean, look for a job, man.
so hard to change, right? I mean, even if you want to complain to your
HR.
boss's manager, your boss itself can sometimes block that.
Yeah,
as well.
it's SME, forget
or
about it.
SME, they don't even have manager.
Yeah,
They're
the boss is
the
the
boss.
boss.
Is the boss.
Yeah, then if you do it in an MNC, there's a chance that the boss can turn it around against you
Yeah.
and say
You're gonna listen to them.
whatever.
Yeah.
Even if like, I mean, you could ask for like a lateral transfer, lor. You go to the next department. I guess that's a solution. But most of the time, I advocate like, you just go lah, which is why having stuff like emergency savings,
Right.
multiple sources of income, like is important.
Right.
Because I think there are very few things that can fix like a bad boss, especially if you're, let's say, in a family business or like
Yeah.
a company with like a high churn rate, right?
It seems quite common, because like I'm hearing more and more. It seems less like there were these companies in the past where the companies will hire fast and fire fast kind of thing. And I also wonder if that is a response to the idea of like people job hopping all the time, because it's like if I'm like, if everybody gonna come and then the moment they buay song or not happy about something, then they leave immediately, then I will also do that lah. So as an employer, if I see you during probation period, anything I don't like, you're gone immediately, because I can just find another one of you in the fresh grad marketplace anyway until I get lucky and strike a good one. I don't know if that's true or not lah.
But then I think by the time they strike a good one, their reputation is so
Yeah.
Yeah.
down the
True.
drain that the good people also don't want to stay with them
Yeah.
or wouldn't even apply to their place. So
Yeah.
their pool of selection, it would be just shitty people.
Yeah.
I think as an employer, you need to be like the bigger person, right? Because you are literally like the employer, right? You have so much more to lose than like a single employee also.
Yeah, your reputation does count for a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, that's very true.
But I don't think that's the case. I've heard so many cases where they treat people like crap. The glass door is like very lousy, but still people go because they need jobs. But I don't know how viable that is in the long term lah.
I got another theory, and it's like maybe nowadays it's easier to start a company. So
Easier?
easier to start a company as compared
Less
to the past.
lower barrier of entry.
Lower barrier entry.
In
know what I
terms
mean?
of what, having an
Like,
office.
like
is it?
everyone can be a like startup person.
Because
you
you
know
can
what
work from home, is it?
I mean? No, I mean the culture is more becoming more entrepreneurial. also.
Oh, right.
So a lot more entrepreneurs.
Right.
But what it also means that a lot more people who have no experience starting a business, a lot of people who were previously good, excellent at their jobs, but just
Cannot.
bad managers. So a lot of them have entered the job market.
Right.
When they hire people, they will make some mistakes lah. And I think that is very normal. Let's say, in fact, like I think sometimes people can become the very thing that they dislike. Right? For example, you let's say you work in an advertising agency, then your boss don't like your boss because they micromanage you. You're like, oh fuck my boss, next time I will leave the company and I'll set up like
A nice company.
That's awesome.
Nobody will be abused.
Yeah. Then you go in, then maybe you don't micromanage feedback, but then you pay late on time.
Right.
You pay late, or you I don't know, or you kind of like don't trust your employees to kind of work. Do you remember you had a friend who you said very quickly became right wing when he thought
yeah. I feel like it's really related to what we were talking about earlier about growing older and then becoming more conservative. Or it is not more conservative but more macro. Like I have friends who are very left. It's not just one friend, actually quite a few of them, students as well. And then always talk about workers' rights and stuff. But oftentimes the case is that when I ask them what do they want to do, and then when they say I want to do this and that, and then you run the numbers through. I mean, it's not difficult to do. If you want to just find the industry, find the rough like margins of profit for the industry, then you simulate like what do you want to sell, how many do you want to sell a month, what kind of store do you want, what's the rental for the store. You do the sums, and then people very quickly realize that actually the margins here is quite difficult. So if I want to say make 3K a month from doing my own business, I have to sell this number, and that's a lot of number. That's like 100 a day or something like that. Then they very quickly become very shrewd, right thinking when it's their own business. Yeah. I found that a lot of the case. The process of running a business or simulating a business can turn somebody from left wing to right wing very quickly, because this is your own brand, this is your own IP.
Your own money.
Yeah, like one of my friends became very quickly, like from a very left and pro worker one, he was talking about how, but I cannot teach all the employees all the secret. Later they take my secret recipe, run away, do something else. Like he became so protective very quickly, So it's funny like sometimes I think management can do that too. I'm not saying be a manager and managers are badass because they know more things. Not the case. There are a lot of bad managers too. But if you take that process seriously, it can teach you so many things, right?
Remember we had this post about Eggs Benedict
I was thinking about that also.
Right,
what about Eggs Benedict?
Where we explain why Eggs Benedict costs $26.
So when you break down the numbers, then you realize why the
Things
company
cost they
or
do,
the organization do. Yeah.
Because the egg itself is like how much only?
Yeah, because like this is one like the raw material only how much, then you're overcharging me. But then once you kind of like put it.
The Hollandaise sauce, the skill of making the poached egg itself,
the rent, the labor, the renovation,
the ambience of the restaurant,
the marketing, the branding,
all these things cost money.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think what I was equally shocked was that even confronted with the numbers, the number of people who were in denial of it was still quite overwhelming. I remember like someone said, you're justifying overcharging. I'm going to unfollow. Then I remember like, I had hundreds of likes or something like that. Then I was like, if that doesn't convince you.
I remember you pinned it.
Yeah. Of course, why would I not pin it? I pin it so they can all go and like it, then they can all leave at the same time.
Look at this, if you agree, please leave.
Please go. Nobody wants you here. You don't like us, we don't like you, just go somewhere to a peaceful little like corner of the internet. I think the beautiful thing about Gen Z maturing also is now they have opportunity to start businesses that will disrupt the old way of doing things. In some way, like we set up this company, we kind of like disrupt like the old media companies that used to dominate Singapore also. And I think I guess that's what we mean often by like be the change you want to see, right? Let's say if we had joined one of these like traditional media companies in Singapore, I think even though if let's say you are the most talented person, it's very hard to change a structure that is already decidedly in these ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like the management will be the same. Management got no buy-in. Your peers got no buy-in.
Yeah.
You have like a lot of self-doubt and everything.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good opportunity for Gen Z to, after learning all they can in the workplace, go start a new thing and to kill the companies that they dislike.
Yeah.
Through competition.
It's part of it. I was telling him about a podcast that I watched. It was about people in Google and how Google is no longer the place to start new things. Because the person who was an ex-Google employee broke it down and he said, like, if you think about it, a lot of the things of Google that we know and love are bought actually. So Google did some things, of course, like search engine optimization, search engine, and also like Gmail, they did that. But Google Maps is bought, Google Drive is bought, a lot of other things like Google Lens is all like bought. I think Google Lens actually did, or Google Glass was developed in-house, but the development process was hell. And Google has become a place where it is so bloated now, because I mean, if you have like 400k employees all around the world, it's not just 400k geniuses. When Google first started, it was just very sharp and very bright people and very high concept, but there's just not that many of these people in the world. So Google is becoming quite bloated with HR and stuff, and it's becoming a hard place to start new things.
Not just HR, you got a lot of
HR and like IT, like your computer, then so all these nice things are actually bought with like a lot of the great things that they did in the past. But now it's a company, you know. So if you want to start something new along the lines of like Google Maps and stuff, you might actually be better off starting your own thing, then they buy your thing, then it becomes Google, rather than going inside Google and doing it within Google. Because the hierarchy and the culture has become so much more what they call a consensus culture, where a lot of people contribute to a meeting by saying no to things, by saying, here's why I don't like it, instead of just saying, yeah, I'm good with it, go. So things become very slow and they get stuck. Because you can't move on something unless you get 100% approval. And you're not going to get 100% approval.
So it's more stifling there actually.
Yeah. So it becomes quite meaningless, because like they were saying like, quite shaky, because you go in there and you want to do something new and you get put on a good team, but because things don't move and they keep shuffling you around, you might start something that somebody else gets another hand on, and then it just goes somewhere else and you don't see it ever again because they put you elsewhere.
So I think I remember when I was like younger, then there was the opportunity to join like a very traditional company like GLC, like Government Link Corporation. And they'll join like their innovation department where they try to do something new. What I've learned over the years is that even though they try something new, because they're within like the old structure, with like a lot of decision makers being more established folks, it can be so hard to even try new things. And the irony is that even though a company with like millions and millions of dollars in funding, right, can lose to a startup. Because of this decision paralysis, or like the system of the old that kind of hangs over the thing.
I mean, quite common to have these kind of things where bigger and older companies who are slower start like an offshoot thing that's supposed to move faster. It's like, if I'm a big ship, I send you off in a little motorboat of your own. But then it's about whether there's a connective string there and whether the big ship go and pull on the string or not.
Sometimes it can be like, oh, you're creating this product, but I don't want it to cannibalize what I already have.
So slow down a bit, don't go those waters.
So you cannot do this, you cannot do that. Then in the end, like
it just follow along.
It feels like then it falls apart. Like, I think like a lot of young people make that mistake. So I think like nothing wrong with joining a big organization. Just have like the not right expectations. Just manage your expectations. How innovative it will be.
Another thing I also tell young people is that maybe you can also try to find your opportunities. Like I always say, expect that 80% is shit. But then they'll sing, they'll go, shit. But 80%, I'm not saying 100%, so you still have 20% expectation to do good stuff. And I always try to do that whenever I work, even in places I don't like. Like if I want to do comics, I might say, for example, actually got this thing that you want to do, I know you want to do something, and I will do that thing for you, but can I have a little like I use 20% of my time to draw a little comic and try it. If you don't like the sketch, I'll abandon it, but let me just try it, okay? I won't take up more of your time, and I promise you I'll deliver that thing. So you can still kind of find pockets to do things that you're interested in. And I think that has worked out well for some.
And I think like, as millennial, sorry, we talk a lot. I realize you all now talk for a while.
No,
I realize like our because now we are millennial managers, right? Now we must let Gen Z do their thing in a way that is different from us, and don't get too tied to the existing way of succeeding.
True.
So like, if you're a millennial manager and your Gen Z wants to try something that seems ridiculous, I mean, if it doesn't like destroy the company, just let them try lah, right? You never know where it will take the brand also.
True.
Because there's a very real chance we become the people we dislike.
True.
Yeah. If I think about my Gen X bosses, they were also doing something that something new at the time that their boomer bosses dislike. Then they became our generation's villain. Then if millennials don't keep an open mind, we will be like Gen Z's villain.
So one day they will start their own things and destroy us.
We're not
Ideally
we're not Gen Z.
Please destroy us.
Or Gen Z-ish
No, I won't.
Please destroy us for the good of the sphere.
I'm not an entrepreneur.
That's what
I said last time also.
No, I can't do it.
You can do it. Okay, I don't tell you what you can do. You can be anything you want to be, including not being able to do it. But I recommend it. Disrupt us.
Disruptors, yo.
You know, end the podcast then.
Can so if like we don't listen to what we said, then like they want to start new thing.
And disrupt us.
And no, they want to start a new thing with us to help us.
Oh yeah.
And then we're like, no, don't do this, do it our way in the past. And then end up they go and start another company and destroy us. Then this might be our last podcast. If it is, then thanks very much for listening to us ramble. And yeah, catch you on the next one. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank
next
you
one
very
probably will be
Japan.
in his house in Japan. So because we're gonna go on a company retreat around next month. So we'll try to do a podcast there also. So it'll be in his house in somewhere in Japan, in the Ulu Hills of Japan.
Yes.
Which will be quite interesting.
Yeah, it'll be fun and nice.
Yeah, so tune in and watch that one.
Yay.
Okay. Thank you everybody.
Yay.
Bye. Hope you have a nice tea time too.
Bye.